When the heart whispers and you don't listen. Every morning, you wake up in a hurry, sip a cup of coffee, and rush into the bustling crowd. Your heart beats steadily, but have you ever stopped to listen to it? Sometimes you feel tired, your heart races, and you struggle to breathe after climbing a few steps. You think it's just due to lack of sleep, stress, or the weather. You laugh it off and ignore it. But little do you know, your heart is whispering for help, and you have never truly listened. The frightening truth being overlooked: every year, more than 17 million people die from cardiovascular diseases, equivalent to 1/3 of total deaths worldwide. On average, every hour, 3 people die from strokes or heart attacks. 80% of people with heart issues are unaware of their condition until it's too late. The heart doesn't hurt, but when it stops beating, that's the end. The scariest thing is, the heart doesn't give a warning. It simply departs without saying goodbye. We often worry about cancer, accidents, or obvious dangers. But the heart, the very thing that keeps us alive every second, is forgotten in the race for survival. You consume too much salt, drink too little water, sit too long, sleep too late, and work without breaks. You believe you are still young and healthy, but perhaps you are living on a ticking time bomb. Cardiovascular disease is a silent killer. It doesn't hurt you immediately, but it quietly drains each heartbeat until the heart stops completely. What is cardiovascular disease? When the flow of love is blocked, the heart is a miraculous organ. It is the size of a fist, but beats about 100,000 times a day, pumping over 7,000 liters of blood throughout the body. Each heartbeat is a whisper, "I am still alive." But when that blood flow is blocked, everything can collapse in just a few minutes. So, what is cardiovascular disease? Cardiovascular disease refers to a group of conditions affecting the heart and blood vessels, including coronary artery disease, narrowing or blockage of the blood vessels supplying the heart, the main cause of heart attacks, stroke, cerebrovascular accident, disruption of blood flow to the brain, heart failure. The heart is weak and unable to pump enough blood to supply the body, hypertension, prolonged high blood pressure causing damage to blood vessels, many other complications, arrhythmia, myocarditis, valvular heart disease. Though they may seem different, they all share a dangerous commonality. They develop silently, without clear pain until complications arise. Who is at high risk? Here are the groups at the highest risk for cardiovascular disease, even though many of them still think they are healthy. Hypertension damages blood vessel walls, causing the heart to work harder. High blood lipids, cholesterol, forms plaques that can obstruct arteries. Diabetes damages small blood vessels and the heart, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Smoking causes vasoconstriction, reduces blood oxygen, raises blood pressure, and damages blood vessel linings. Obesity, lack of exercise, increases the burden on the heart, promoting metabolic disorders. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, causing rapid heartbeats, high blood pressure, and arrhythmias. What's even more dangerous is that these risks often accompany each other and increase over time if you don't make timely adjustments. An enemy without swords and spears. Cardiovascular disease doesn't knock you down immediately. It comes from salty meals, fatty foods, sleepless nights, bouts of anger, and office chairs. It accumulates, creeping in until a slight chest pain or a brief dizziness becomes the final ride to the emergency room. Remember, the heart doesn't have to break to feel pain. Sometimes, it just slows down a little, but that's enough to change your entire life. Causes what is silently weakening your heart every day. No one is born with cardiovascular disease. Your heart was once strong, beating vigorously in your youth. But as the years pass, it begins to tire. Each beat becomes heavier. The problem is, the heart never complains. It just tries, until it can't anymore. Here are the most common culprits that are often overlooked. Asterisk. 1. A tasty but harmful diet. Eating too much salt causes high blood pressure, forcing the heart to work harder. Consuming saturated fats and trans fats raises blood lipids, leading to atherosclerosis. Eating too much sugar and refined carbohydrates promotes obesity and diabetes, to destroyers of cardiovascular health. Every fried sausage and greasy hot pot you consume adds a little more burden to your heart. To sedentary lifestyle, the heart sluggishly follows you for long periods without movement, leads to poor blood circulation and fat accumulation around the heart. not exercising weakens the heart, reducing its ability to contract and circulate blood. The heart is a muscle. If not trained, it will weaken, and one day, that very heart will no longer be able to keep you standing. 3. Stress, anxiety, and anger. Invisible poisons for the heart. Prolonged stress increases cortisol and adrenaline, causing rapid heartbeats, high blood pressure, and arrhythmias. Suppressed negative emotions disrupt the heart's nervous system, causing chest pain, palpitations, and insomnia. Many heart attacks occur not after a lavish meal, but after an argument or a mental shock. For smoking, the silent killer. Each cigarette contains over 4,000 harmful chemicals. Nicotine, carbon monoxide, arsenic, causes vasoconstriction, reduces blood oxygen, and damages the inner lining of blood vessels, paving the way for atherosclerosis. Smoking doesn't just shorten your life, it suffocates your heart every day. 5. Obesity and metabolic disorders. A growing burden. Visceral fat around the heart and blood vessels increases the risk of hypertension, diabetes, and dyslipidemia. Metabolic syndrome is the most dangerous combo pack, causing rapid decline in cardiovascular health. Abdominal obesity isn't just a cosmetic issue, it signals that your cardiovascular health is in jeopardy. 6. Genetics, age, menopause, but not a fate. Those with parents who have heart disease are at a 2 to 3 times higher risk. The older you get, the stiffer your blood vessels become, increasing cardiovascular risk. Women after menopause lose the protective effects of estrogen on the heart. Risk increases dramatically, but genetics doesn't determine everything. It's your lifestyle that activates or turns off the disease switch. Symptoms. Early warning signs. You should not. IgN or either heart doesn't behave like a hand that bleeds when cut. It doesn't make loud noises. It only sends subtle signals, hoping you are perceptive enough to listen. Here are the early symptoms of cardiovascular disease. Though small, they can be the last warning before a real crisis occurs. 1. Unusual fatigue. Even without heavy exertion, you feel drained after a small task. Walking a few steps leaves you breathless. Climbing a few flights of stairs makes your heart race and leaves you gasping. A weakened heart fails to pump enough blood to your muscles and brain, leaving you exhausted without clear reasons. To chest tightness. A feeling of pressure in the chest. Sometimes it feels like there's a heavy weight on your chest. Pain may radiate to the left shoulder, neck, or arm, often occurring during exertion or stress, then disappearing with rest. This could be angina due to reduced blood flow to the heart, a warning sign of potential heart attack. 3. Palpitations, rapid or irregular heartbeat. You notice your heart racing abnormally, skipping beats, or missing a beat while sitting still. You feel anxious and restless for no apparent reason. If prolonged arrhythmias can lead to heart failure, sudden death, or blood clots, causing strokes. For shortness of breath, especially when lying down. When lying down, you find it hard to breathe and need to prop yourself up for comfort. Persistent dry cough, especially at night, can indicate fluid buildup in the lungs due to left heart failure, a dangerous condition requiring immediate treatment. 5. Swelling in the legs, ankles, or abdomen. You notice swelling in your legs, and your shoes feel unusually tight. Pressing on the skin leaves a dent, a sign of fluid retention. Your abdomen may also feel slightly bloated. A weak heart fails to pump blood effectively, causing fluid buildup, often starting in the legs. 6. Dizziness, lightheadedness, fainting after sitting for a long time. Standing up makes you dizzy and lightheaded. You may even lose consciousness for a few seconds. This could be due to low blood pressure, arrhythmias, or insufficient blood flow to the brain, signs that your circulatory system is seriously malfunctioning. 7. Pale skin, bluish lips, cold extremities. Your lips turn bluish, your skin looks pale, and your hands and feet feel cold despite warm weather. This indicates that blood isn't being effectively pumped to the tissues, a common sign in advanced heart disease. Asterisk warning. Many people dismiss these signs, thinking they are just due to lack of sleep, aging, or ordinary fatigue, until a heart attack or stroke occurs, and everything can't go back to normal. If you experience 2 or more of these symptoms frequently, you should see a cardiologist immediately. Consequences. When the heart no longer has the strength to keep you haltered. Why? The heart is the central engine of the body. When it weakens, everything spirals. The brain lacks oxygen, the kidneys fail, the lungs fill with fluid, and the entire body becomes exhausted. Cardiovascular disease doesn't just stop at fleeting fatigue or palpitations. It can take lives quickly, unexpectedly, and without warning. Here are the top dangerous consequences that cardiovascular disease can cause. 1. Heart attack. The earthquake of the heart. This is an acute event when the coronary artery, the blood supply to the heart, is completely blocked. The heart muscle suffers from lack of blood, leading to necrosis, and if not treated promptly, can result in death within minutes. It causes severe chest pain, sweating, and difficulty breathing. Heart attacks are the leading killers of millions worldwide each year. To heart failure, a tired and exhausted heart. When the heart muscle is damaged over time, it loses its ability to contract and cannot pump blood effectively to the body. It causes total body swelling, shortness of breath, and insomnia. The body weakens, the mind becomes foggy, and depression can set in. Quality of life declines significantly. 3. Stroke. When the brain's blood vessels burst or block. Cardiovascular diseases, especially atrial fibrillation, hypertension, atherosclerosis, increase the risk of forming blood clots that block blood flow to the brain. Sudden facial drooping, paralysis on one side, memory loss, and coma can occur. Immediate treatment is needed during the golden hour, otherwise, it can lead to death or a vegetative state. For increased risk of kidney failure. Multi-organ damage. Weak heart leads to poor circulation, affecting other organs, like the kidneys, liver, lungs, and brain. The kidneys filter less gives, causing swelling, high blood pressure, and blood poisoning. The liver becomes congested, gives causing jaundice and clotting disorders. The lungs fill with fluid, gives causing shortness of breath and recurrent infections. The body is a connected system. When the heart fails, the entire system is pulled down with it. 5. Sudden death. No chance to say goodbye. Some people are still laughing and talking in the morning, then collapse by the afternoon. They leave without any warning signs, without a last word. 80% of people who die from heart disease had never experienced serious symptoms beforehand. The risk is even higher for those who are complacent, neglect regular checkups, or live with unhealthy lifestyles. Conclusion. Heart disease doesn't just make you tired. It can rob you of your future if not detected and controlled in time. The absence of symptoms doesn't mean the absence of disease. Don't let a sudden chest pain be your last reminder. Love your heart before you wish for someone to keep it for you in the emergency room. Prevention and treatment, a journey to protect your heart, starting today. The good news is, most cardiovascular diseases can be prevented and controlled if you truly start with the basics. Don't wait until symptoms appear to take action. You don't need expensive or complex solutions, just a clear commitment to yourself. Protect your heart, starting today. 1. Adjust your diet. Every meal is a medicine. Daily food can either heal or poison your blood vessels and heart. What to do? Increase vegetables, whole grains, and low-sugar fruits. Prioritize fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, and nuts, walnuts, almonds. Use vegetable oils, olive oil, sunflower oil, instead of animal fats. Drink enough clean water every day to avoid. Reduce salt, no more than 5 grams a day. Limit refined sugars, candies, and fizzy drinks. Avoid fried foods, fast food, and processed meats. Every time you say no to harmful food, you are saying yes to your heart. To exercise regularly, keep your heart beating strong. Just 30 minutes a day can significantly improve your cardiovascular health. Walking briskly, cycling, swimming, yoga, and meditation are all beneficial. Exercise 5 days a week, combining strength training and deep breathing. Maintain activity after meals. It helps control blood sugar and blood lipids effectively. 3. Control your weight. Protect your cardiovascular system from your waistline. Being overweight, especially abdominal fat, is the unforgivable enemy of the heart. Gradual weight loss, 0.5 to 1 kilogram per week, is ideal. Maintain a healthy BMI. Waist circumference should be 90 cm men and 80 cm women. Every kilogram of fat lost is a burden lifted from your heart. For reduced stress, soothe those anxious heartbeats. Chronic stress raises heart rate and blood pressure, leading to arrhythmias and exhaustion. Meditate, practice deep breathing, and take walks in nature. Listen to calming music and talk with loved ones. Limit electronic devices in the evening and avoid bringing work home. 5. Seek proper medical treatment when needed. Let healthcare accompany you. Don't hesitate to see a doctor. Don't procrastinate on tests and checkups. You should. Measure your blood pressure regularly. Test blood lipids, blood sugar, and undergo ECG. Follow prescribed medications if treatment is indicated. Statins, blood pressure meds, aspirin, cardiovascular drugs. 6. Eliminate habits that harm your heart. Some habits you think are small can damage your blood vessels daily. Smoking causes blood vessels to harden, depriving the heart of oxygen. Excessive alcohol consumption raises blood pressure and causes arrhythmias. Continually staying up late increases stress hormones and disrupts biological rhythms. In summary, you can't replace your heart, but you can change your lifestyle to keep it as long as possible. Every healthy meal, every step taken, every adequate sleep is a medicine for your heart. Live in a way that your heart doesn't have to scream for help but can smile because it is loved correctly. Conclusion: keeping your heart healthy is keeping a life of freedom, awareness, and happiness. Your heart has been silently beating tirelessly for many years, since the moment you took your first breath, until today. As you read these words, it continues to work hard to keep you alive. It doesn't require reminders. It doesn't need thanks. It only wishes for one thing: to be cherished and listened to. But the truth is, most of us only remember the heart when it hurts, when we feel a sharp pain in the chest, when blood pressure spikes, when the heart beats irregularly, or worse, when we lie in a hospital bed, limbs cold, gasping in despair. At that moment, we tell ourselves, if only I had lived differently from the start. If only I hadn't been so careless with my body. If only I hadn't waited until it was too late to change. But today, it's not about if only. Today, you still have time. You still have the opportunity to start anew from the smallest things. A meal with less oil and more vegetables. A morning waking up early to walk around the park. An evening without staying up late, without clutching your phone, simply breathing deeply and smiling at yourself. A small decision can change your entire life. Instead of living in a rush, slow down to let your heart relax. Instead of just working for money, enjoy every moment. Instead of waiting until you fall ill, proactively love yourself. Happiness doesn't lie in career achievements. Happiness lies in a heart that beats healthily every day. To you, the one listening to your body's call, you are not alone. Out there, millions are learning to live again, to live consciously, healthily, and gratefully. Every time you choose to care for yourself, you are choosing life. Every time you choose to give up bad habits, you are protecting your heart. And every time you share this with someone else, you could save a life. If you find this video meaningful, please share it with friends and family, because the heart cannot cry out for help on its own. It needs you to speak up for it. And don't forget to follow the channel, so I can continue to accompany you on the journey to live healthily, consciously, and a life worth living. Your heart is the most precious thing you possess, and how you live today is the most beautiful thank you can give it. Start right now, for your heart and for your life.